everyone, and welcome back to Shelly's Millions. In today's video, I want to talk about all of the reasons why I think it's unlikely that we will receive that $400 from the executive order or memorandum. And even if we do, why I think it's going to take a significant amount of time before it reaches our hands. But I do think that there's another possibility that will get us the money faster and without all of the complications. So that I hope that I turn out to be right on that. I'm in California, but this video will be applicable regardless of what state you live in. And if everyone could just take one moment and give this video a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share it with someone. It really helps the YouTube algorithm show the video to more people, which helps my growing channel, and I appreciate it. I'm not a professional, so I'm going to link all of the articles that I reference in the description down below, and feel free to do any follow-up research that you want to on your own, because politics is not even my strong point. I'm just kind of going through the unemployment process myself. So of course, as there are new developments, I'm interested in what's going on and thought you guys would be as well. The first reason why I think this isn't going to happen is because I thought it was an executive order, but it turns out it's just a memorandum. And I didn't really know what the difference was, so I looked it up, and this is what Google said, and that was still confusing to me. So as I've told you, my boss that I used to work with, and I hope to work with again soon, he's really good at politics. So I called him and I was like, what is a memorandum? And he said it's basically just a suggestion. Then after we got off the phone, I looked up the definition of memorandum, and it does just seem to be some notes, some suggestions, kind of like you put a pin in it so that you'll have a discussion surrounding it later. So a memorandum doesn't hold quite the weight that an executive order would. So that's the first reason why I don't think this is gonna actually happen. The second reason why I don't think this is very likely to happen is that there were questions surrounding the legality of this, even if it was an executive order. Normally, Congress is supposed to control the purse strings. They're supposed to dictate how money in the government is spent, and the president is not supposed to have the authority to do that without the approval of Congress. So best case scenario, this was probably going to be tied up in the court system. So even if we did get the money, it was going to be quite a delay before we actually saw any of it. The third reason, and I think one of the most significant, is that Congress, both the House and the Senate, are actually not taking their recess yet. They are going to be back in session on Monday, and they're supposed to be coming to a decision on all of this by Friday. And one of the footnotes in, they're calling this the Lost Wages Assistance Program, says that if there's legislation on this, that this would be terminated. So what I expect to happen, and I think this should be good news, is I think that the House and the Senate will haggle back and forth the rest of the week, but I do think that they'll come to some sort of decision on Friday, and hopefully it will be easier to roll out than the memorandum was. The fourth reason why this is really unlikely to actually happen, at least for the designated time frame, which is through December, is because the funding is supposed to come from the DRF, which stands for Disaster Relief Funds, but there's only about $70 billion in that fund right now, and that fund is not allowed to dip below $25 billion. And since there's over 30 million of us who are unemployed with millions more claims that are still unprocessed, we would burn through that money in less than 5 weeks, and it says that the program would be terminated no later than December 6th or when those funds were depleted. So again, we're looking about 5 weeks, even if this went through without any issues. Reason number 5 that I think that this is unlikely to happen is this actually isn't an unemployment program. It's a completely new program, which means it would need to be set up from scratch, which isn't going to be easy, and it might not even be possible for all the states to implement this. So that's another reason why I don't think this will actually happen, at least not in its current form. And reason number 6 why I don't think this will happen is because they put a restriction on this. And the restriction says that you have to qualify for at least $100 in unemployment benefits and that includes PUA, PEUC extensions, EB or Fed ED extensions. Basically, you have to qualify for $100 in unemployment benefits in order to receive the $400 boost. And I covered this in yesterday's video, but it just seems pretty harsh. It also seems really complicated to implement. I don't know how the states are supposed to update their systems in a timely manner and then have the program figure out who is eligible and who isn't. When you work, did you earn less than $100 in benefits? Do you qualify for more? That's going to be much harder for the computer programs to try and implement than it would if they just give everyone a flat amount. And that also hurts the lowest income earners, which I just don't see either side wanting to actually do that to people. That's not going to benefit anyone, and we won't really know until we know. And hopefully we hear something by the end of this week, and hopefully it is good news. Hopefully it's better than what they have proposed so far. Hopefully they're able to implement it quickly so that they can get it into our hands. Because again, if they wait all the way till Friday to actually come to a decision, then our unemployment offices are still going to need some time to get that programmed into the computer system and get it into our hands. I suspect there's going to be a lot of speculation on this over the coming week. So we're all just going to kind of have to wait and see what happens. But these are my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think is going to happen as a result of this. I am going to leave my Webull referral link in the description down below. If you're interested in getting 2 free stocks, you can get those after an initial deposit of $100. One of those stocks could be valued up to $1,400. If you use my link, let me know in the comments down below which 2 free stocks you get. Now, with that said, the stock market is a very risky place, and I don't actually recommend gambling your money in the stock market. Don't put in what you can't afford to lose, because your stocks, they do always have the ability to decrease in value. And in a time like this, don't lose any money that you can't afford to lose. But there are some people like me who are looking to grow their wealth, and one of the ways to do that is by investing in the stock market, because just like it can crash, it can also bounce back up. And I'm at a point where I'm able to diversify some of my funds as I try and become a millionaire. So just be cautious if you do that. I don't want to see anybody lose money. I don't want to see anybody be in a worse position than they are. What I did when I signed up, I deposited my initial $100. I didn't invest it in anything. I waited for it to settle, claimed my 2 free stocks, and then immediately moved that $100 back into my bank account. Now, if you want, there's nothing that stops you from immediately selling your 2 stocks and putting that money in your bank account as well. So that's an option. The whole process, I was probably without my $100 for about 30 days. So also don't invest that $100. Don't be without that $100 if you're going to need it sooner than 30 days. And yeah, that is it. I normally upload videos on Mondays and Thursdays, but because there's so much going on right now, I may do it a little bit more frequently. I'm also trying to grow my channel, and I'm curious to see what uploading daily does for my audience. So thank you everyone for watching Shelly's Millions, and I'll see you next time.